Yeah.
All right then, if you should start. Switch your mobile phones to silent or switch them off, appreciate it.
Yes, Chair, could I ask everyone to turn their mobile devices onto silent and that the toilets are on the first floor and there is no scheduled fire alarm tonight. This is a town council meeting to discuss town council business, with the exception of anyone having previously submitted a question to the council and received permission to speak. The public are here to observe only. No comments are to be made, nor questions asked. Any member of the public who disrupts the meeting will be given a warning, and if they persist, the offender will be asked to leave. The continuation of such disruption from the public will result in the removal of the public gallery.
Okay. Thank you. Agenda item 1 is to receive apologies for absence.
We have apologies from councillors Bauer, Burrell, Celia Cox, Edge and Parr.
Thank you. Agenda item 2 is declaration of members' interests.
Apologies, I should have mentioned it prior to the meeting. I'm a member of the Undervalley Borough Council Planning Board.
Okay.
When you did the
Okay, thank you. Agenda item 3 is to receive and approve request for dispensation from members on matters of which they have a disclosure of peculiar interest. Any declarations? Okay.
And at the same time, Chair, I'm asking for a 6-month dispensation for non-attendance at council meetings for both councillors Parr and Burrell.
again.
Are we happy to support that?
Second.
Yeah. All in favour?
1 minute. This
Sorry,
will be the third time they've had a dispensation order, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should this be the last time that they have one there?
It will be the last time.
Thank you.
All those in favour? Thank you. Public speaking, would we do?
Just one comment, Chair. A gentleman is going to Thailand over the Remembrance Day period, and he is laying a wreath for the war dead who died during the Burma campaign and the Burma Railway, and he's asked permission from Heanor Loscoe Town Council to lay a wreath for Heanor Loscoe Town Council. So I'm seeking permission to spend a minimal amount of money in
Yeah.
terms of getting a wreath, having it marked up and providing that for
Very
him.
good, yeah, so we're all happy with that?
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
excellent, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that, that's really thoughtful. Agenda item 4B,
Excuse me.
sorry,
I thought it was the public bit.
well, no,
Yeah, but
members
there's
of
no
public have asked.
Are we still doing that farce, are we, that we have to do an
Well, that's your, no,
Oh, come on, we all know.
oh, sorry, no, all right. 4B, nothing,
No,
no
Chair.
comments from the police. What I would say is, at the previous full not the emergency one, the previous full council meeting, a member of the public was racially and verbally abused outside this building, and fortunately the person has been charged and pleaded guilty. Just to make the warning that it wasn't pleasant. The person who involved has a reputation for extreme far-right views, so it's pretty unpleasant. And I've been told today that a child was racially abused in Heathergate School, which I think is pretty damning on us. So,
Think about the police and stuff.
sorry. You need to speak if you put your hand up.
Yeah, I've been trying to. I'm saying, why about the police? Is there any sense we can, in the next meeting, can we have a police representative to talk about, you know, the guys that ride around motorbikes with helmets on, popping really through the streets? It's getting stupid now. Someone's going to get injured from it.
The police are at Salco tomorrow between 1 and 2. You can ring 101, or you can contact them via.
But in night time, when it's dark, it's quite hard.
But as I say, yeah, but I mean, if you contact the police directly with the problems, then they'll deal with it. I mean, we would like them to come, but they don't, so we can't.
No, that's what I was asking is anyway, we could ask them to come to our meeting so we could.
Well, we ask them to come.
I've got loads of people telling me they're annoyed about
Yeah.
it, they're fed up about it, you want something to do about it.
We asked them to come, but they obviously choose not to. County council, anything on the county council, councillor Stevenson? No? Well, there's a meeting next, on the 12th, that when they'll make the decision about whether they're gonna privatise or close florentship.
12th of this month.
12th, yeah, next Wednesday. The cabinet meeting's 2 o'clock, I understand.
Where's that, sorry?
Matt,
At Matlock,
Dulwich County.
12 o'clock. So not a couple left.
district reports, councillor Emerson.
Yes, Chairman, I've got two questions. First of all, some members may be aware that Amber Valley hasn't had a local plan since 2006. Since we took control last May, we've been progressing that, and we've now got a date for the local plan inspection hearing, which will be on December the 9th, and it should last about 2 weeks. And then the next one is regarding, people may be aware that the Great British Bike Race will be coming to Heanor tomorrow, it's leaving. Well, it starts at Derby, going to Newark. It's estimated probably be 11, quarter to 12 is when it comes through Heanor.
I think it's 11:50 according to the timetable.
Yeah, I'm saying a rough estimate. And then on Sunday, it will be the official opening of the marketplace, which will take place at 10 o'clock, and there'll be entertainment through till 4 o'clock on this coming Sunday. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Agenda item 5 is to confirm the minutes of the town council meeting held on Thursday the 6th of June. Can I move it?
Right, second it.
Second it, okay. All those in favour? Thank you.
Those against?
Item 6 is to confirm the minutes of the extraordinary meeting of the town council held on Tuesday the 30th of July. Seconder,
I would second it.
all those in favour? We miss them, congratulate Andrew on his first meeting as a substantive clerk to the town council.
Do we not do that to new councillors now?
Sorry?
Do we not do that for new councillors now?
She says, should we not do that for new councils?
That'd be a
Thanks, Mark.
Well, I didn't know you were
7, to receive the minutes of the
I didn't
executive
know
committee
you
held on
were
Thursday the 16th of July. Move it, second it, all those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 8, exclusion of public, there are no items for public excluded. Agenda item 9, mayor's announcements. I've attended the following events at the last meeting. The Amber Valley Borough Council Mayor's Charity Quiz at Charles Hill Community and Sports Centre. Presented trophies to 21 different teams and number of individuals over 3 days at the Heanor Town Football Club Awards event. A wonderful event for teams aged under 10 to adults, male and female teams. Presented trophies to 15 different teams over 2 days at the Heanor Juniors Weekend Football Tournament held on Charles Hill. It's a nice sunny weekend, which is attended by young teams, both male and female, from under 10s to teenagers. I was pleased to be able to present the individual prizes at the reinstated Monday C of E Schools Horticultural Show, which was well attended despite a nearly downpour. I was honoured to open the first Heanor Carnival event for over 20 years. Again, very successful and well attended. It was nice to see people lining the streets during the parade prior to the event. Credit must go to the organisers who worked tirelessly to make sure the event took place. The Mayoress and myself attended the Ashfield Care Home Summer Fair. We both attended the Florence Shipley Community Care Home Fun Day in support of the facility. I presented a cheque from the Mayor's charity for £1,000 to Salcare Charity in support of their Freedom Programme, which supports people fleeing domestic violence. We attended the 100th birthday party for residents of Florence Shipley Community Care Home. And finally, we were pleased to open a bookshop in Heanor based on the former Barclays Bank. It's called Busy Lizzie Books. And the owner is the market manager, Lizzie Barrow. I'm pleased to see, for all their hard work on this for a long time and their commitment to working with everyone to improve the town. Following attending that, we both went to the newly opened Mustard Coffee Shop that's on Ray Street, where we talked to the owner who actually has a sideline in selling Scotch eggs, amongst other companies, Harrods and London. So, we also had a chat with the owner of Pinks and Puppets, who was performing on the marketplace funded by the town council, and he's actually been performing for the last 40 years. He started in 1984, and they'll be here at Christmas as well. So that's our event. There you go. Right. Agenda item 10A.
Chair, I'm recommending to council that they replace Councillor Bezic and Councillor Howard on the executive committee. Replace Councillor Bezic with Councillor Howard on the executive committee, and the other structures be considered by the executive committee prior to consideration at a future town council meeting. The reason for that delay is the arguments on whether the council can appoint working parties or whether they have to be subcommittees. So we're taking some further legal advice on that. We'll report to the executive, and then a report will come to the next town council meeting.
I would like to propose that we accept that.
A second to that? All those in favour? Thank you. Sponsorship of the Great Cup and Heanor Town Football Club fireworks.
Chair, yes, this is on really to look at the longer term arrangements for these annual events. The Greg Cup we have sponsored over the last few years at £300 per year, but we have no agreement for this year, so we need to decide, are we going to sponsor that again, and do we actually want to make it that our sponsorship is, say, for the next 3 years, so we don't have to come back every year and ask the same question. Then secondly, the fireworks that are done down at Heanor Town Football Club. The first year we paid £3,000 for that, and last year we cut that down to £1,500, and the football club obviously make money out of that event. They're asking you again to consider whether you will up that back to £3,000 and meet the cost of all the fireworks. And again, really whether you want to look at some sort of arrangement that ties us in for the next 3 years so that everybody can plan and we don't have to keep coming back. And lastly, last year the town council agreed to have 2 information board sponsor boards down at Heanor Town Football Club at a cost of £200 each, and the club have taken those down now, saying we've not paid for this year, and are asking the question, do you want them to go back up? And if you do, they will be £200 each per year. And again, do you want to, if you want to do that, do you want to stop coming back to council and asking and say we'll do it for 2 or 3 years?
Any comment?
I think we need to do that. I think we can keep it going. It's advertising for council, it's getting the public there, and it's a good event. Alright, you've got the Christmas fireworks go off, but that attracts a lot of people from other areas coming in, so it needs to continue.
I propose we give them the £300 for the Greg Cook, because I think that's been going a lot of years, and it's,
Well, I think if we sign an agreement with them for the next 4 years for the Great Cup, I think it's a really popular thing.
it's like, it's an event that's been going on
Yeah,
and on
and
and
I
on.
think I think it's that's very important.
I was just going to say we should include it all in one. If they're asking for more money to help with the fireworks, just include it all in one and say we'll give you the £3,000, put the boards back up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in respect to the fireworks,
But I mean, sorry, what they're asking for, like £300 and £200,
yeah,
just
well, no,
include it all in one and
no,
give them the
Great-
3,000.
well, yeah, the Great Cup was £300, the boarding was £400.
Yeah.
And then the fireworks, they wanted 3,000. Now, I don't know, the Greg Cup and I think the boardings are okay. I
Yeah.
think the fireworks, the concern I have is that we're subsidising that, but they're charging people to go in.
Yeah.
So make it 2,500, so
So,
That's what I said.
I'm sorry, if you wanted to, you have to put it on. There's no comment.
much
So,
full.
that's the dilemma we're having. Council Crashwell?
Can it not be 2,000 that we give to the thingy and then the 800 is covering the football match and the boards? And you've got change.
Well, I mean, we only gave them 1,500, seemed to go all right last year, 1,500. You have to mean that. I think there's a problem sometimes that the town council is seen as a soft touch. That people have come and just give them money.
How much was given for the carnival?
3,000, if we're getting all that with it, it's a lot.
Heanor,
It's not, I won't say
No,
it's soft touch,
sorry,
we still,
my hand is out.
Yes, but you will speak when I tell you to speak.
Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir.
And there is, you have read the standing order of the council about behaviour of members. And there's also the
I have, have
civility
you?
and respect. So I think you should pay attention to that.
I have you?
If you carry on this path,
You're not listening to people.
Never.
You're not listening to the people in the community.
But you've asked their opinion.
They don't
but
need
you
to
haven't
sorry,
Sorry,
this is not a public
Boo.
meeting. This
You
is
know
not
that,
a
but I
public
remember- you
meeting.
know why?
It
Because
is
you
not
don't
come to the
a
public
meeting.
meetings.
No,
You
exactly.
didn't come to the
Not
public
a
meeting,
public
did you?
meeting.
Mr
Sorry.
Mayor, you
Sorry.
didn't come to the public meeting.
2 of them.
I'm sorry, if that bits again, you'll be asked to leave. Okay?
Who decides that?
So,
It's
He's God.
yeah,
it is in this
so
town.
say that we're getting the board and the Greg Cook
Yeah.
back, I think
so shall we do that first? So we're all happy to support have a long-term arrangement of, say, 4 years for the Greg Cup and the boards.
Yeah, that's
We're all
fine.
happy with that?
Yeah.
Fine. In respect to the fireworks,
Sorry, how much did that work out to, the Greg Cup and the boards?
that's 700 quid.
700
Yeah.
and 1,500.
No, it's
For the
700.
fireworks.
Fireworks, well, we paid
So that's what I'm saying,
last
so
year.
a couple of £100 more, make it up to 3,000, and we've given them a little bit more, but not everything they've asked for, and we've got
So
what
are we
we...
happy that they're charging people to go into the football club
It's,
when we're sponsoring football?
yeah. I
They've
think
got to
so.
pay for
Because
security
they're, you know, it's a business.
and
It's,
staff.
you know, I mean, does somebody want to come out and say, will you give us have something on the market so you can support our bit? It's I don't know the
The
answer.
security here tonight.
Yes, Councillor Hibbert.
Right, so, you know about, so, Sam saying, give them the 3,000, round it all up, which is a good idea, because it limits, it gives them a total what they've got to work with, they can work with that. Yeah, about charging to go in, so, you're on about, your argument is charging them to go in, so, can we not go back to the town grant and say, right, we're all on charging, say, I don't know, £4 I was going, or £3 I was going, can we lower that price down a bit, to make it a little bit more enjoyable for the community?
Shall we happy if we leave it with the clerk
Or half
to
the take
negotiate
is
with,
for
And actually,
with the
discuss
football
with the town,
club
we're happy to give
members'
the money.
concerns are?
We're happy to give the money, but we'll
Yeah.
discuss it with you, because he's bringing a lot of people in from around
Oh, I
here,
know,
so it's
yeah.
not just the town grants beneficial from this, the shops do,
Yeah.
the takeaways do, the pubs do.
And everything's going up every year.
Yeah.
So the fire,
Yeah, and the cost of living as well.
Fireworks probably wouldn't be,
So ideally give them money and say, yeah, fine.
Councillor Cresswell?
Also, they do make up any shortfall that they don't get from funding elsewhere.
I've no idea what to do.
I do.
Well,
We
yes.
all, the rest of us do.
So, the boarding and the Greg Cup and the clerk to discuss with,
I think, Chair, that there's really not the time to do that. I think you've got to set a limit on this. They need to know, bonfire night will be on us before you know it. The next town council meeting is not till November. So we ought to have a
so
season.
we want 3,000 for the lot, and that's the Greg Cup, the football,
So-
the boardings and the fireworks.
Can we say give it to them this year as a one-off £3,000 payment to cover everything, the Greg, the boarding, the fireworks, and let's assess it next year and say, see where it goes,
Where the
how good it's
fireworks
gone,
comes in.
and then readdress next year.
Well,
The time's running short, like Andrew says.
Yeah, I think the issue is if we agree 4 years for the Grey Cup and the boarding, which I think is there's not an issue with that, is it? If we have that, and then we'll do a one-off, make the difference up to the $3,300 for this year for the fireworks, and then come back with a further discussion about that then. Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favour? Thank you. Agenda
Chair,
item,
the next one is civility and respect pledge. We've noted that some councils now are adopting this pledge. It's recommended by DALP, NALP and the SLCC because they recognise the growing problem of abuse at council meetings to councillors, and they're looking for ways to protect councillors from that. So it's basically a pledge that there will be, on the front of the agenda, there will be a paragraph telling members of the public what is expected in their attendance at council meetings, reaffirming the fact that they're not public meetings, and also reminding members of the council of their duty to be respectful to members of the public, fellow members and officers. And it's really taking off now. I think it would make it quite clear on our agendas what's expected from members and members of the public, and hopefully reduce some of the turmoil that we've had over the last couple of years. So I'm recommending that we do adopt the civility and respect pledge.
Members happy with that? Perfect, yeah.
As long as they stick
Thank
to
you.
it.
10D, event.
Freedom of speech would be nice for now, so our side.
Chair, events. I'm reporting today that discussions are taking place with Heanor Vision and Infinite Wellbeing and the Fair People and everybody else that's necessary, and Amber Valley for all our closures and licences that we need to provide Remembrance Day and the opening of the Christmas lights. They will be completed fairly soon, because we don't want to be in the position we were in last year where we were unable to keep the public informed as to what was going on. We need to be telling people early what will happen on those events. So really just to note that those arrangements are going ahead. In addition, I'd put in my report that there was an outstanding request for funding for events. However, no clear details have been submitted, and therefore I'm withdrawing that from the agenda tonight, as members will not have had time to consider those details fully before the meeting.
Okay, you know while you're just on about events, the events team have been in touch with me, and they just want to provisionally put a date out for next year's carnival, which is the 20th of July, just in case the and Town Council has got any events for that date or around that day.
Just Sunday again.
Yes.
Councillor Stevenson?
Can that list of events be put forward at the next meeting? For that 3,000 funding?
If you fill the grant format, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Councillor?
Can I move that the Santa be moved to the fire station, the old fire station this year, because there was a bit of an issue with the pedestrians being close to the road, from that corner with the queuing.
My apologies, Chair. I should have mentioned that as far as Christmas is concerned, we do have concerns following our risk assessments about Santa being down at Infinite Wellbeing and the queuing that went on. So we are recommending as officers that that actually moves to the fire station this year. I think we'll work with Infinite Wellbeing to see what we can do down there separately in the future.
So we happy with that?
I'll second that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Sorry, you said about the fire station. Is it the fire station Wilkinson Road or the old fire station?
The old fire station.
The old one, yeah.
It's got decent access in and out, and we can control.
If not, what about the church? It's got a long driveway.
They tend to have events in it already. Okay, right. 10E, speed indication signs.
Before we go on to that, Chair, can I also mention, I'm obviously getting a little bit older today. On the Christmas celebrations that we do, we're also recommending that we carry on like we did last year, and the market stalls go down Godfrey Drive and not on Godfrey Street. Then I'm getting used to it. And not on the marketplace this time, because the way the market's been designed, we need that extra space to put all the events that we've got planned for the Christmas opening.
There was also a lot said in the public meetings about Ray Street wanting to be involved in it because they're having lights this year.
Didn't know that.
Sorry. Well, I know, but it's recorded. But it would be nice if stalls could go down there because they're used to, and they're being left out, the businesses down there.
Yes, Chair, it is not a public meeting, but
Again, we didn't have a public meeting. I'm
That
glad you brought this up again, Dan.
Andrew, Mr Mayor, you never came to the public meeting and you've never answered the questions.
So
Have
members,
you?
we
I'm
are,
glad you brought that up,
we are
Andrew,
look-
thank you for
we
that.
are looking at Ray Street.
True,
We
innit?
are looking at
True.
road
All
closures,
true.
and that may well be part of the things that we confirm.
Yeah.
So
We just
it
like
will be
leaving
an,
the light
it
on.
will be an
My name's
experience.
Melissa Kelly and I own
Yeah.
Pet
It
Fit
is.
on Ilkeston Road
Yeah.
and I'm watching everything that you do. We're coming after you.
Nice day.
Yeah, have a nice day. You're absolute disgrace. I don't know why you lie straight in bed at night. I'm happy to go, I've got better things to do than listen to you lording it up over all the time. Disgusting behaviour. You want to listen to your public. You are a public servant. Oh, but I go when I want. You are a public servant.
I don't
Take
think.
your hands off me.
I don't
Take
think
your
it
hands
is-
off me. What do you think, Brad? You're being
think-
ridiculous.
Come on.
For God's sake, you're being ridiculous.
This might be one for Andrew. I didn't think that you could ask somebody to leave, but I did think they had to leave. If they didn't leave, you had to.
I told her, I asked her to desist.
We all have
I'm not-
to.
Continue.
I think you can ask them to leave, but if they didn't leave, you had to suspend the meeting.
Yeah,
Is
we all
that
have
correct?
to.
No,
No.
no,
what
we
it
don't
said.
have to suspend the meeting, we can have them escorted, we can use a security firm, or we
Not
can
to
ring the
manhandle.
police and ask the police to come and arrest them for trespass.
Not to know.
No.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Well, look back at it. It's
In
not the notes.
in respect of Christmas, we are trying to approach David Ellis, who won the Paralympic gold medal, to see if he's available to join us in, switching the lights on. But I mean, obviously, we may well have better things to, I don't know, but we will be asking him anyway. Okay?
I mean, can I say, Chair, on this, that, you know, after 40 years of clerking council meetings, there is no need for the public to continually interrupt council meetings and shout things out when they've been asked to be respectful. That's what the law says about a council meeting. They are breaching the Local Government Act 1972 when that happens. And that causes problems within the town council. And so that's why we're adopting the pledge where the public will know how they can behave in council meetings. If they have issues with services or anything that the town council do, they should approach us in through the proper channels by writing to the town clerk.
Or having meetings.
I just think people are getting frustrated. Members, I've sat there enough time, and it feels like the public feel like they're not being listened to. You can understand the frustration, but they had the annual meeting,
Can't say a word.
and it was a member of the public that chaired the meeting because it shouldn't have been. It should be somebody from the council chairing.
Okay?
Okay.
Councillor
No
Cresswell?
answer. Okay.
Also, a lot of the feedback that we're getting is that they don't feel like they're being heard by us, and that the only time that we talk to them is when we want their votes. And I feel that the frustration wouldn't come out at our monthly meetings if they actually felt heard in between.
Right, moving on, speed indicator signs.
Moving on.
Speed indicator signs, this goes back to prior to COVID, where we were approached by a member of the public complaining about speeding cars at Loscoe Denby Lane. We got prices, and before COVID there were grants available that would pay for these indicator devices, and I think we identified about 4 sites in the end. Then COVID came along and the grants were withdrawn. Now this is a county council function. We have gone out and had the highways officers out. We've found a suitable site on Loscoe Denby Lane. But to go forward with that, we've got to engage a contractor to come along and fit it. We've got to pay licence fees to the Highway Authority, and we're talking in the region of around £3,000, which is not budgeted for. It would have to come out of balances. So I'm coming to you to ask you to consider the approval of the installation of a speed indicator device at Loscoe Denby Lane, because we've sort of indicated we would consider it. But it may be better, as there were another 3 sites, for it to be deferred to the executive to have another look at this, to look at the budget, particularly as come October, we'll be looking at the budget and the preset for next year as well.
Is that a one-off fee? £3,000 or?
No, there's a
No,
licence.
there'll be ongoing
So
costs.
what would that cost be ongoing?
You'd be talking about £500 a year in terms of servicing, turning it round, etc., and moving it. This is a device that's designed to be able to be turned round so that it's capturing data from one and another. You know, you can't, it just captures the data. It's just one of those devices that says you're doing 3 miles an hour above what it should be.
Councillor Stevenson?
There shouldn't be a cost for moving it, because I moved the ones for free, the small and the Horsley. Whenever they want to, I go over and do them for them.
Well, if you're qualified, Councillor Stevenson, they
Yeah.
ask for, you know, the
Yeah,
qualifications for working on the highway.
yeah, I don't charge them, I just go and do them whenever they wanted.
Councillor Cox?
Assuming that it is a movable one, there will be costs, ongoing costs for moving, whether that's the installation, but also for the county council in respect of an object in the highway, and getting permissions for that.
Councillor Hibbert?
Yeah, so, the other about the £3,000, can we not look at the other routes and say, put speed bumps in it, which is a one-off cost, it reduces speed, it keeps down to, you can't let a speed up more than 20 miles an hour within the area, so can we not look at speed bumps?
And
The only reason why I say this is
the
like
highway-
Thorpe's Road has just been resurfaced, and I've got people on there shouting at me saying they're coming down there like a lunatic, because the speed up that's in there now has not been put in high enough. It's a very low one, so they can go over it, and it's still doing 40 miles an hour.
It's a main road, the county council wouldn't put speed humps there, and indeed, if it was down to the county
But I've had
council,
them in town centres
they
where I've
wouldn't,
gone
they
through
wouldn't
working.
they wouldn't fund a speed indicator sign, they don't think it's necessary. We're responding to a member of the public who says there is a problem down there, could we have it? And I think that's why it probably ought to be reconsidered by the executive with all the data that we've got to decide whether they want to recommend council to spend that money. Because once you put one in there, you'll get requests to say, well, if you can have a speed indicator device on Loscoe Denby Lane, can I have one on Heanor Road, and can I have one on here? And as I say, the devices are the responsibility of the highway authority, not Heanor and Loscoe Town Council.
But it's only classed as a B road, isn't it? And I often think it's a B road, it's not a main road, it's a B road, so it leads into an housing estate. So it's not a main road, yes, it's got a bus route on it, yeah, other Stage Avenue's got a bus route on it, and that's got speed bumps on it. So surely cost restriction is to put speed bumps on, they're gonna slow a lot more people down. People don't take care of these signs, yeah, it flashes, oh, you're doing 35 miles an hour. Yeah, so what? It's not going to record my details. It's not going to take a photo.
That's the problem. We aren't the highway authority, it's the Derbyshire
No,
County
but
Council.
this is what I'm asking. Can we go back to them and say, rather than putting a sign in, can we put speed ups on there? For the cost of them,
Well,
we're not really caring them.
They won't do it. I've asked them numerous
Councillor
times.
Stevenson's a
I
county
always won't do
council.
it.
I
It
think,
seems a,
to be honest, if the number of complaints I get about cars speeding on the main high street at Loscoe, between St Luke's Church and around there, is far more. I'm not convinced that actually the length of this on Loscoe Denby Lane is actually, because we only cover up to the children's play area. That's the only bit that's in here, the rest of it's in Denby. I'm not convinced the speedy bit is actually, I'm not convinced it's actually in the Loscoe Town Council area.
they've only checked on where it is, what area it's in.
And just the highways and speed is down to the police for one, and also highways agency. We can't really, we can put recommendations in, but it's not our authority.
So can we check our borders where we lighten?
Don't expect people.
We don't want to put a sign up near the farm where it's not in our area.
The area of the sign that we've located is in Heanor and Loscoe, but you know, the county council highways officer don't see a need for a sign on there. The data doesn't support that, but it's a historic request that's been considered by the town council over and over. We've followed through with the officer, got prices and found out what it would cost to do. and so you'll see in the report, I've asked you to consider the approval. I've not recommended that you should do it, and following further discussions with members and officers, I think it would be prudent to refer it back to the executive to think it through again and look at the other 3 sites before we prioritise and spend that money on that
Yeah,
one
we
site.
happy with that? Yeah, okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'd like to do that.
10F, by-election.
Yes, Chairman, this one's really to report to you that the recent and forthcoming by-elections, including the one that's coming up in October, will cost the town council out of balances between £25,000 and £30,000. So I need approval to take that money out of balances to pay that. It reduces your balances by £30,000, having the need to have 3 by-elections mid-term. And there was also a question about issues about whether polling cards got to the relevant people on the day. The returning officer confirms and reassures me that polling cards were sent out by Royal Mail to all people on the electoral roll for those by-elections that have taken place, and will be sent out again to those on the electoral roll for the forthcoming by-election in October. Beyond that, he doesn't have any further control, that they're sent to Royal Mail assuring that they're being delivered when they go out. Now, we can pass concerns on back to the returning officer and ask them to take it up with Royal Mail, but, you know, they've done their bit.
Councillor Cresswell?
I had a couple of people inbox me, message me, believing that they were in Westward, so I just advised them to go up to Tesco's, and they were able to vote, and they didn't receive it.
I see, you don't need a polling card.
No, but they wouldn't have known if they hadn't have asked me.
And again with the by-election, I asked Lee, not Lee Gardner, Lee Bruce, for a map of the area of the streets that cover East and West. So I'm doing leaflets around things like that, and people around me wasn't even on that street. So I'm delivering leaflets to 3 houses on that street. Yeah, people have come out to me and said, well, where's my leaflet? I'm on a voting card. But on the actual register of the properties that's on there was 3 properties on there. So what are the streets are missing off that? Can that be updated or can that be checked? And now the boundaries have moved around because there was a lot of streets missing off there, a lot of properties missing off there.
Well, I'll say, it's best to take it up with
The returning
he's
officer.
a returning officer,
Right.
and he has the authority. Okay, are we all happy that we take £30,000
Yeah.
out of balances to fund the elections? Okay. 10G is Derbyshire County Council Library Provision Consultation.
Yes, Chair, that is on the Derbyshire County Council website at the moment, future provision of libraries, and it closes on the 2nd of November. I suggest the Town Council sends a response and wondered if we can do the same as we did on the care home one, that you delegate it to the Town Clerk in consultation with the Mayor to draft a suitable response and report it back to the Town Council.
That's all.
Can I also suggest that the letter that we send is published on the web page as well?
Yeah, yeah. We're happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Ward reviews, Derbyshire County Council.
Yes, that now is virtually complete. It's awaiting approval through Parliament, and it basically gives 4 wards for Heanor, and it gives Heanor a Derbyshire County Council division, where then Codner, Alderker and Langley Mill are put in one other one, I think.
Loscoe?
Yeah, and Loscoe, yes. And if anybody wants a copy of the maps, I've got several copies of those warding maps.
Yeah, I mean, just for the benefit of members, the Town Council election in 2027, there will be 4 wards, 2 of which are single member wards, one line down, and a 6-member one and a 7-member one, 5-member one and a 7-member one. We didn't ask them to review it, but they, in their infinite wisdom, decided to do it. It is what it is. Okay, are we all happy with that? Well, thank you. Derbyshire County Council review of older person support for residential care homes.
Yes, Chair, just to report that we did send a response off, drawing attention to all the points that have been raised by the public and our concerns about Florence Shipley closures. And I think it's been mentioned earlier, that will be considered by Derbyshire County Council Cabinet later this month.
12th of September. Okay, 10J is financial regulations.
It's a fairly simple one there, Chair, that because you've appointed a separate town clerk and responsible financial officer, just wanted to tidy up financial regulations to ensure that it's clear that the clerk or the RFO can do things and authorise things rather than it just saying clerk at RFO. There's not that one post there, so we intend to go through it and we'll circulate an amended copy to members when we've finished it.
Are we all happy to support
Yeah.
that?
I'll second
Structure,
that.
yeah, okay, thank you. Then item 11, which is conclusion of the audit accounts
Yeah, and then,
23-24.
Chair, on that, members will have received a copy of the notice of the conclusion of audit and the external auditor's report that shows, for example, that the balances carried forward by the town council was 340,414. I will mention that because there's rumours of black holes. The council is financially stable. And the external auditor's report had one comment to say that section 1 had been incorrectly completed as a risk assessment was not reviewed during the year. This is consistent with the internal auditor's response to internal control objective C, and all that was really saying was that the town council reviews its financial risk assessments every year, but on this occasion it was reviewed 2 months after the end of the financial year, so it was a 14 months. So they basically advise it they prefer to see a council resolution saying you've looked at it every 12 months, and we as officers will put that right.
No, after that? Yeah, okay. And item 12 is the 12A is the backed payments.
Yes, Chairman, members have had copies of the backed payments, the income from they and the bank reconciliations, and we're asking you to approve those documents.
Always happy to support 12A. Go on with money. Thank you. 12B, income from May to July. Yeah, after that. And 12C, bank reconciliation after that. Yeah. Okay. And then item 13 is a grant aid application from the third Loscoe Brownies.
Yes, Chair, the third Loscoe Brownies are asking for a grant of £600 to pay for a coach for Skegness trip. So some girls can experience the sea for the first time. It's a safe space for girls of Heanor in Loscoe for girls aged 7 to 10, teaching them life skills, giving them experiences and preparing them for transition to guides. The funds that they currently hold are £2,000, but they have outstanding debts of £848 and £900, so that comes down quite a bit, and their present financial resources is fundraising and fees paid weekly, with the annual committed expenditure was £1,000 a year. Their accounts have been audited in April 2024, and they're basically asking you to pay £600 of a £900 cost of taking the girls to Skegness.
I think we'll pay the £900 and give them more if it's a safe space for young girls. I know they've only asked for 6, but if they need 9, give them 9. They need more stuff like this in the area, not less.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Got a second. All those in favour?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
Last one then for me, Chair, is allotments. I'd just like to report to you that COVID has come and gone, and as you know, we've got a number of allotment sites that are run by allotment associations, but those allotment associations seem to be quite remote, and we're having some problems with some characters on the allotment committees, that's all I can say. I'm just reporting to you that I am sorting it out bit by bit. I think we've got flooding issues on Glue Lane allotment, tree issues that were reported back before COVID. So I'm getting out and meeting those organisations next week, and if there is any further work needed, I'll report back to the town council, but hopefully we can build a relationship with them so that they feel supported and they run a little bit better without the continual complaints that we tend to get on how they run.
All happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Agenda item 15 is the planning and environmental licensing. So, has anybody got any comments on AVA 2024-0307, which is Scarsdale House Farm, Loscadembia Lane, Loscoe, replacement dwelling? No. AVA 2024-0484, the Country Park Tavern, Old Coffee Side Markle, proposed conversion from the former pub into 10 two-bedroom apartments. Councillor Hibbert?
Is this, as if obviously 10 two-bedroom apartments, it's not really classed as, or the, is it going to get past them, so it applies for HMO on it? And a lot of people saying, we're worried about HMOs going on that site. So is it going to go to two-bedroom and then they apply for HMO status? Is there any way of clarifying this?
Well, we can only go by what the documentation the applicant sent in.
Right.
So, you know, we can't, you know, that's what they, what we've been asked to comment is what the applicants applied for, what usage post them get planning permission is up for the planning authority, which is Amber Valley. Councillor Cresswell?
I've had a number of people asking why the work's already started, the planning permission hasn't already been given.
And the road conditions
Yeah.
for the heavy goods vehicles shouldn't be on those roads. That was brought up at the public meeting.
We'll
raise it with the
We'll
enforcement officer.
we'll raise it with Councillor Howard.
Again, with this being termed at 10 two-bedroom apartments, again, we're looking at changing use to flats again, and it seems to be taking over the town, and we've got to look at the provision for like your GPs and the schools and things with all these, you know, sudden influx of people, you know, even though it's only 10, it's only 10 at this building, we've had several of these going on now, and I think we need to highlight this to the planning authority that it's like boiling the frog in water, isn't it? You know, suddenly you're overwhelmed, all the services are overwhelmed, so I think we do need to highlight or get, you know, put something forward to the planning committee and the council about how many multi-occupancy homes are starting to spring up.
Do members want to write down about expressing whilst there's nothing we can do to
I second.
refuse it? Should we write in expressing our concerns, about, I mean, I've not seen the plans, so I don't know, but these tend to be very small, like rabbit hutches on them, they not?
And are they legal as well? Because
Well,
we're adding
So,
on.
can we, well, you've heard what members say,
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
write to the
write
planning
to the-
officers expressing, outline what members' concerns are about this.
We'll also raise with the planning officers that the suspicion that the work's already commenced prior to planning permission.
I say, can we not just say to them, can we not give a response to it and say adjourn it until they come back with more details on what these are going to be?
No, you see, what happens is, Amber Valley, the planning officer, they only write to us out of a matter of courtesy. We have no legal powers. They will carry on the path regardless of whether we, so we have no powers whatsoever. They're just consulting us as a matter of courtesy as a local council. So we can't delay it or defer it or anything like that. All we can do is pass our concerns on and hope they take it on. You've got two members of the planning board that's here as well. They may well hear what members say, but we can only comment. We can't abrogate any other. The path will go on. So we'll take them on board, right? AVA 2024-0485 is highlight installations on Burn Street. There's 9 houses. Can we pass a comment about over-intensive development of the site? It's not, I feel that big to see 9 houses.
We literally only need
I
it.
think
The
it's
roads are
under
gonna be
intensive
knackered.
use personally.
Yeah.
With that, yeah, so if we pass that with that comment on, yeah. AV 20240487 39 Wilmot Street, new outbuilding to replace existing garage. Comment on that. AV 20240530 Holbrook Street is fascias, window vinyl and vinyl panels, any comment? No. AV 20240542 land between 22 and 24 Brook Street, outline application for housing.
Don't say how many houses.
Well, it's only outline, which means you want the principle you can build on it, and then we'll come back with
20 houses.
detail afterwards.
Yeah.
Nothing we can reasonably object to on that, maybe it's not in Greenbelt, so we've got stuff. AVA 202405556, land adjacent to 7 Lake Gardens, Loscoe. Variation on condition 2 is to install a 1.8 composite fence around the perimeter. AVA 202405526 is the former grammar school. Listed building consent to install 2 doors into the existing opening on the first floor. Comment? No, thank you. The other sheet on planning is just for information only, so no, that's right, over the page, missed these. AVA 202405552 is 20 Julie Avenue, single story extension. AVA 2024059, 8 Victoria Avenue, is a 2-story side and rear extension. Mark, Captain Howard.
The next one,
Oh, sorry, AVA 2024057 Moscow Road, change of use from dwelling house to house of multiple occupancies. MHA, that way. Councillor Howard,
Can we write about the amount of these before
for use to
change
consent.
of use again? Because I think it's something we need to start at least noting, because it's just putting resources again, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the fact that in this meeting, we've got 4, is it, or 3 that's
Yeah.
multiple occupancy, change of use.
Councillor Hibbert,
Where that's situated, is right on the corner, so taking 47 west side look at it, it's Fifi's dress design place. There's no parking, there's no street parking, there's no street parking on Park Street. Park Street is a one-way street which is absolutely crying, you can't even get a bill out there properly, even down to no fire engine. Again, where they're gonna park these houses, the cars and stuff on these houses, there's no, and again, the infrastructure of the public on the street and the schools and everything else, it's built on that problem, it's, again, at HMO.
Councillor Trustwell.
Again, I've had parents who have children at Howard Street that allow their children to walk to school to gain independence, that are not going to be happy to allow their children to continue trying to go to school on their own if that becomes a HMO, because they feel their children will be at risk.
Unfortunately, that's not planning consideration. The law doesn't allow you to comment on
We like to say McCodner.
It's
I
like our
think
children
yes,
are
it's
just
a pattern, I think we need to object that.
It's very much like our children are just collateral damage at the moment.
Again, they've started building that, but why have they started building that before it's even passed?
Yeah, it's nearly done.
We'll put an appropriate letter together, as strong as we can.
Thank
It
you.
needs to be very strong, I think, because what, again, it's nearly done the building it.
We're happy to go on those comments? Okay.
I'm just looking it up, I'm trying to turn my phone on, find out the first Thursday in October
Training
is a training session. And I urge all members to come to that, because that will show particularly the new members how they can interact and how they can get things on the agenda, how they can get their say in a council meeting in the correct way. So it just reduces attention in that meeting. The same for the other members as well. It'll show you how meetings should be chaired and how we can basically work together to make the meetings successful and achieve the aims that we're here for. And the next one then will be the first Thursday in November.
7th of November.
7th of November. Thank you very much. Safe journey.
4th of November is the train.
I'll be doing that training. Laura will be doing it now. Yeah, please.